Well, hey mamas, hello. We're here for our second video all about managing the first 2 months of your teen's school year. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the second thing, the second tip that your teen really needs to get done these first 2 months. And this is a mindset. This is your teen's mindset about learning. So before I move on, before we talk about what those shifts are, and hopefully before my phone falls, I keep forgetting. I need to put a new clip up. But I want to know, does your teen really believe that she can learn anything? Let me know down below on a rank of, say, 1 to 4. 1 being, nope, there are certain classes my teen knows he's bad at, that he's never going to do well in, or a 4 that your child believes without a shadow of a doubt every class is passable. Your child can learn anything, anywhere. Let me know down below. And before we jump into this, do know there's a link in the description for you to book a free consultation. If after the video you would like to talk with me one-on-one, and hopefully we can get your teen involved too, to talk about your teen study skills, to talk about this thing learning, would love to do that with you and your teen. All right. So hopefully you've told me where your teen is between a 1 and a 4. And the point of this video, or at least one of them, is this. If you put anything less than a 4 down, we have some work to do. Okay? Your teen can be, needs to be, should be, whatever word you want to hear, whatever word you might need to hear, is a 4. Okay? That's one of those mindset shifts that your teen needs at the beginning of the school year. Okay? Every class is passable. Every class is not too hard. Okay? Even if your child doesn't think he's a science person, or I'm not an English person, or I've never been good at math, all of those thoughts are literally just thoughts. They're just mindsets your teen has about school, about a certain subject, about learning. Okay, so that's the very first thing we need to get changed. And yeah, it's not going to just happen magically. It's going to be a process. But we want your teens to stop thinking, I'm not good at math. I can't learn X. Okay, so when you hear your teen say that, let them know, hey, you can do this. I believe in you. And if you're familiar with the term growth mindset, you'll know that word yet is super important. So if your child says, I don't get it, well, it's not I don't get it, it's I don't get it yet. Or I don't understand this. Again, so I don't understand it, it's I don't understand it yet. Okay? Now, do you know, obviously, got some teachers involved, right? We've got people at school teaching this material, making your teen feel certain ways, or at least being part of this mindset around classes, around subjects. Do know your child may learn differently than the teachers teach, and that's okay. More on that here in a second. Before I go further, I want to say hey to everybody watching, all my mamas on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jessyka Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I teach teens how to learn so they can love to learn. When it comes to mindsets, when it comes to study skills, when it comes to executive function skills, I love to help. I love to be part of that learning journey for you, and especially your teens. Remember to subscribe, remember to follow, because this is just part 2. I have a third tip for you tomorrow. All right, so we're talking about learning. We're talking about those mindset shifts, and we're talking most recently about teachers' involvement in this. Okay, a lot of times teachers teach in the way that they learn. And if that's the way your teen learns, maybe the teacher is very talky, so the teacher's very auditory, and that's how your teen learns, that's great. Your teen's probably going to be in really good shape. But if it's someone like me who's very visual, needs to see things written out on the board, needs to have something to look at, to read while the teacher's explaining, it's going to be a struggle. And that's one of those mindset shifts, again, about learning. Here's your child who's like me, very visual, and the teacher's just talking, not writing anything down. Well, I gotta tell you, it's very easy for visual learners who are learning from an auditory teacher to think that we're the problem. They think that, wow, must be something wrong with me because I don't get it. There must be something wrong with my intelligence. I must not be smart enough to get it. I must not know enough to be at this level. And that is not the truth at all. Okay, we don't want our teens thinking they're dumb. We don't want our teens thinking they're incapable of learning. We just want our teens to know, this is how you learn. This is how the teacher's teaching. It's very different. So you're going to have to adapt. But if your child thinks, I can't do this, I'm never going to learn this, well, why are we even going to make any attempts to adapt? Why are we even going to move beyond, I can't do this? So mamas, that is one of your important jobs these first 2 months of school, is really help your teen believe in himself. Help your teen realize, I can learn this. No class is going to cause me to fail. No class is impossible. Okay. Now, remember yesterday's video, we talked about expectations. So if your child doesn't get to go to the teacher, doesn't get to really look at the syllabus in each class, doesn't really make sure he knows what the teacher wants or where materials and homework and tests, all that stuff's going to be posted, yeah, there might be some rough patches or maybe even a rough semester. But it doesn't have to be that way. So don't let your teen use the excuse of, I can't learn this. Because it's not true. But your teen has to believe it. Okay? And your teen has to say it long enough, think it long enough for it really to sink in. And that goes back to learning styles too, which we can definitely talk about during our free consultation. So thank you so much for being here. Remember, would love to talk to you. Would love to talk to your teen one-on-one so we can help your teen really understand learning is possible. And once your teen loves to learn, once your teen has these study skills that might be missing, that are causing all the problems, then that first month of school can be just as easy, just as fun for your teen as the last month of school. So go to the link, book a time, book a day. Talk to you soon. Bye, mamas.